Hello, my name is Randy Rolfe, and I'm an independent consultant with Nikken, the world's leader in holistic health products, an amazing line of technologies. And this is a product showcase to share with people, to talk about our stories and also give an overview of the product line for new people. And there are a couple of live product showcases, and many of them are also recorded. So get with the person who invited you to this program, and they can show you how to watch the recording and give you more information about the Nikken lifestyle as a whole. And if you're interested in the business aspect, there's some great calls about that too, live and recorded. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that I can do a full introduction here to the wonder of Nikken. So let me do my slideshow. Okay, can you all see that? All right. So we describe Nikken as a way of discovering active wellness and living a life in balance. And Nikken's an extraordinary company. I used to be a corporate lawyer, and so my husband was also a lawyer. We checked out Nikken pretty closely when we got involved because I wasn't impressed generally with international corporations. And Nikken was a head above the rest. It was privately owned. It was very responsible, very compliant with all the regulations, and had a really good plan that had great integrity for people who wanted to be customers or even to be distributors. So that was the exploration we did, but I fell in love with the products right away. And I'll tell you briefly, I had been a lawyer, as I said. I became a family counselor, and what I saw with families was that it was the little lifestyle choices they made every day that made all the difference for health, happiness, even their productivity at work, and their success in life. And whether they had good relationships with their children depended on whether they were making good lifestyle choices. Was everybody getting enough sleep? Were they keeping a positive attitude? Were they eating a good breakfast? Were they avoiding a lot of junk food and snacks at night? And those daily choices make the difference between being constantly under stress, which destroys your happiness on a daily basis, or become humans being more, reaching our full potential. And those small choices over time, especially for our health, can actually lead to vulnerability to chronic disease and discomforts, and the kinds of things that really reduce our long-term quality of life. So that compounding effect of daily choices is what we really address in Nikken, and that's one thing I really fell in love with. And just to give you context for the Nikken enterprise and mission, stress is a huge killer. It's a contributor to all the major things that kill us early: heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, and all the things that reduce our quality of life: fatigue, allergies, depression, sleep problems, weight problems. And it's not gotten any better in the many years I've been involved with Nikken, because we've been through a huge recession and many people are taking on extra jobs, and there's more stress in the family over finances and time. So it's and then our toxic burden has increased more and more. We'll talk a bit about that. 70% of Americans have sleep issues, and we know that one poor night's sleep drops your immune system by up to 60%. It also significantly reduces the laying down of memory. The mind doesn't get to sort its memories out as well, so you tend to have more anxiety and depression, and sleep poorer, have trouble falling asleep the next night. So that's a huge problem, and sleep has been found to be the best predictor of longevity, even beyond activity and nutrition and so on. Quality sleep is key. Then we have the constant exposure to pollutants in our air and our water. We now know that in most places in North America, indoor air can be worse than outdoor because we introduce so many chemicals into the typical home with cleaners, with our furniture emits formaldehydes, our curtains, our rugs, even our bedding has fire retardants that can be carcinogenic. So 7 million premature deaths around the world are attributed to air pollution by the World Health Organization. And if you're near a factory or outdoor air can be bad too. And that's a bigger problem in developing countries. Water pollution is huge. 260 contaminants have been found in tap water, and that's basically safe. It's been treated so it won't kill you right away. But the accumulation of this toxic body burden can really wear the body down. And bottled water has been found to have thousands of different chemicals in it, including endocrine disruptors and carcinogens and other pollutants that rob our bodies of health and overburden our elimination systems, our skin, our liver, our kidneys. And there are more and more kidney dialysis centers going up because we have poor water and we have too many toxins coming through to be washed out. So the stress, the sleep problems, the air and water toxins give us a huge body burden. And so it becomes our job to do something about that. The people who suffer the most, of course, are the kids. They're growing the fastest. They're just learning what habits they're going to have for life. And with the stressed families, they have less and less example and advice on how to grow well and nourish themselves. Obesity rate is at its highest today. Over a third of the country are actually obese. That's astonishing. If you look at the movies from the 50s, the crowd shots, there's maybe 1% that look like they're really struggling with weight problems. 1 out of every 5 adolescents were obese in the last count, and nearly 30% of children. And we know it's because of inadequate consumption of essential nutrients that keep the body working well, and too much consumption of empty calories that put on the weight. And we see in younger and younger kids the risk of cardiovascular disease, cancer, and type 2 diabetes, mainly because of the poor nutritional habits of the children and the toxic burden that their bodies have to deal with that distorts their appetite and their metabolism. Less than half of adolescents eat the needed amount of vegetables. Only 27.1% of high school children get the recommended amount of activity. And we can understand that because a lot of them are struggling with extra weight, fatigue, poor sleep, and poor nutrition, and just don't feel like jumping around, unfortunately. Low-income families, of course, have it worse. They have higher stress, anxiety, depression, less access to healthy foods. Often they're in food deserts where there's no produce within a walking or even a short driving distance. Of course, they work harder, longer hours in many cases. So we have, and they're a significant portion of our population. It's not just the very, very poor. Probably a third of our population, at least a quarter, are low income and have extra burdens in these health trends. So what is the answer? It's about humans being more. And the way we do that is by becoming active in our own wellness. We need to take care of ourselves. We call it self-care, being healthy by choice, not by chance. So we're back to those little choices every day. And we need to educate ourselves about how to make those correct choices every day. So enter Nikken in 1975, so that's 42 years ago. Isamu Masuda had a brilliant idea. He knew some people who were studying the effects of natural earth energy on living things. And together they they developed magnetic insoles, which help restore the body to the natural energy field as if we're walking outdoors instead of surrounded by concrete and steel and electronics. And back then there wasn't any Wi-Fi, but now we're dealing with the Wi-Fi as well on our hip or in our pocketbook or from our cell towers. And we have way, way more toxins in our air, our water, and our surroundings. Nikken started with this 5 pillars of health idea, which if you're watching the video, you see on the screen: healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. All of these need to be in a good balance to live a life in balance and to truly have the potential to be happy and healthy. And of course, if you're surrounded by negative people or you're always arguing, like in the legal field, it's hard to keep that healthy mind. Healthy body, of course, is going to affect everything. And if you're not sleeping well or you're you're hurting, it's hard to be there for your family, be there for your job. Of course, healthy family, if your relationships aren't doing well, that affects everything. If you feel your work is completely meaningless, like when I was helping one corporation fight another over the price of a widget, you don't feel like you're doing a whole lot. And if we don't have time or money to contribute to the causes we care about, that hurts. And of course, finances. When we gave up the legal practice, we certainly thought we were giving up the wealth of finance we could have had as top partners in a big law firm, but we knew we would be sacrificing our health and our mental health and our time with family and society if we kept on with that lifestyle. So we changed it. And when I found Nikken, to find a big global corporation, multi-billion-dollar corporation that had this as their core philosophy, I was really intrigued that you didn't have to sacrifice your health and your positivity and your family time and your community time to make money. And what a beautiful idea. And Nikken, in my experience, really gives people that opportunity. But back to the products, Active Wellness gives you the Nikken Advantage. It puts you in an environment where you're in a favorable position to resist many of the health problems, and both mental and physical, that face our population today. It's a comprehensive, holistic approach to health. And Nikken started out with relaxation products. I mentioned the insoles. Then they developed a futon based on the Asian futon idea. It's a mattress topper in North America and Europe. And then they developed an amazing line of nutritionals. Starting in the 80s, I became certified in nutrition, and I was so excited to see Nikken was also on the absolute cutting edge with their nutritional line. Then they developed a water system that makes the water from your tap gravity feed with no electricity added. It changes the water just the way nature does cleanse water. 5 different processes, including alkalizing, mineralizing, purifying, of course, and magnetizing. The water tastes fantastic. People who don't like water start drinking it. And hydration is at the core of good health. Nikken also has developed air systems and light systems, which are, again, add to your whole home environment and give you those supports you need for good health. We have basically 3 categories of products, over 75 categories, different products. So you need to check out the website that the person I sent you to this video can send you to. The rest and relaxation is at the core. That's unique to Nikken, combining technologies from nature that tend to relax us, get us into a nice deep sleep, reduce soreness and aching in the body, help injuries recover, and so on. The insoles, that square you see on the screen is a pad. I actually have it on my back today because we're driving to Canada, and I know it'll help sitting on my seat, my Nikken seat going to Canada. And the sleep system, which is the topper, the mattress topper. It's all natural, sustainable material laced with patented magnetic discs that put you in a cocoon of great energy. The pillow also has those technologies, and the comforter is puts you in that total cocoon. We actually have portable sleep system we call the cocoon, and it puts you in that good energy. In the environmental area, we have, I mentioned the water, we also have water bottles you can take with you that create that same Nikken Mag water. We have shower systems that add the Pi water after filtering, and it's good for the hair, the skin. Amazing things happen with that. I've had many people say their skin got better using that shower, because you don't want that chlorinated water coming onto your pores when they're open from the heat, and you don't want to breathe it into your lungs. And in the picture, you also see our air system, which does amazing things to cleanse the air, and the light system, which doesn't flicker and covers all the spectrum with extra blue for alertness during the day. And then our nutritional line, of course, I could talk about that forever, but we have a full nutritional line. It's easy to use. It's wonderfully labeled. It's pharmaceutical grade, which means everything that's on the label is in every capsule or pill. And we have unique products. We have the joint, which has cetyl myristoyate in the highest concentration of any supplement. We work with the family that discovered that years ago. We work with Dr. Naidu, who is the world's leader in the study of lactoferrin for building bones and healthy digestion. We have what I believe is the finest antioxidant juice drink. It has no sugar, no preservatives, no water, no coloring, no flavoring added. It's just the exotic fruits, and so on. The whole line is like that. And our skincare is eco-certified based on herbs and seawater, and extremely valuable. So I want to also mention that we have an amazing everyday organic-based weight management program. It's very easy to get on. You don't get irritable, you don't feel deprived, you don't lose energy. It's unique in the marketplace, being organic-based and every day. You could use it the rest of your life. It's not a sudden weight loss and then you just go back and bounce back into your old habits. It creates new habits by nourishing the brain, nourishing digestion, and increasing your energy instead of lowering it. So it cleanses, balances, and energizes. So now we want to move on to sharing personal experiences. I'm going to stop our share here and invite Karen Rose Matthews, who often helps me on these shows and substituted for me the last 2 weeks. And Hattie Jane is also here. And I think Karen Rose has also invited Carolyn Trotta to join us. And so I invite them to share their stories. Both of them are active athletes and have had wonderful experiences with the products. And Carolyn also has some kids who have grown up using these products, so they have some wonderful stories to tell. So please unmute yourselves, ladies, if you're not already unmuted, and take it away, Karen Rose.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. Yeah, good morning, everyone. I am delighted to do this call and bring in my dear friend Carolyn in Connecticut. I live in the Bay Area of San Francisco. And just before I bring Carolyn in, I just want to mention that I am just so grateful. I do meditation in the morning, and I'm just so grateful that I have these wonderful insoles that are nature, walking on nature all the time in my shoes, and having this wonderful nature environment in my home, with the wonderful living water and the sleep system, which I feel are the foundation of Nikken, and also help the products work better. So I love that. I love the water. I use the water. I have animals. I have 4 dogs and a cat sanctuary. They all love the water. Many, many stories about animals and water, including myself. I'm a horseback rider, and have many stories connected to horses and riding. But I wanted to feature Carolyn. We were talking the other morning, and she is a water skier. She gets up in the morning, early in the morning, I think 6 o'clock in the morning, and water skis in the morning, not far from her house in Connecticut. And she has some great stories using the support products, which I love her story. She has a lot of great ideas, and we love sharing ideas about how to use some of these support products. So I'm going to bring in Carolyn. Good morning, Carolyn. You can unmute yourself. Are you there? Somehow I disappeared for a minute. Let me see here. Okay. Can you hear me? Yeah, somehow I disappeared for a minute.
Isn't technology fun? Woo! And we deliver in service with each frequently.
Okay, I can hear now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
No, somehow I couldn't hear anything. I actually went off, disappeared, had to come back on. Is Carolyn? Carolyn?
Who's 510 or 310?
690. She was on. She's 690. So she was on. I noticed she was on. I don't see her on anymore.
I don't find her anymore.
Maybe she left.
Here she comes back. She's back. But she needs hit *6.
Yeah, or unmute yourself.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
Yay!
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry about that. I don't.
That's okay.
Don't worry about it. It's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, we all have
Sorry
had
about that, guys.
I think there's some tech problems going on. Welcome, Carolyn.
Yeah, that can happen.
I'm normally doing this. Yeah, I'm normally doing this from being on my computer, but I'm at my kids have bike camp, so I'm picking up my kids at bike camp.
Good.
But I'm glad to be here with you guys this morning. As Karen Rose had mentioned, I'm an avid water skier, and water skiing is what led me to Nikken, and Nikken has led me back to water skiing. A quick story: when I was 16, I took a dare barefooting water skiing. I was going 39 miles an hour, and when my friend turned the boat, my foot went off the wake and I flipped, and I injured my low back. 6 months of physical therapy 3 times a week, and it didn't help me. So I suffered for 17 years every day. And when Nikken was introduced to me, I was able to get back into water skiing, and it was amazing the things that I could do. And my life has just gotten better and better. I've been using the Nikken products for 15 years, and we moved away for a while, and I really haven't been able to water ski for 7 years. And I started last week with my friends, went back out there. The second day I was out there, if you know anything about water skiing, we have a buoy course. So we actually, I'm on one ski, double high wrap boots. It's very intense, 30 miles an hour, being pulled behind the boat through a course that you're going around the balls. And it's very demanding. And I have been using my power band wristbands on my wrists, both wrists, wearing them 24/7 while I'm skiing, and then afterwards using the Mag Duo to warm up my forearms before and after. And I have not had any discomfort in my forearms, which is unheard of when you water ski. Just holding onto the rope is hard enough. that's why I put them on. I was concerned about my grip strength. And I have a complete wellness home. I sleep on the sleep system. I drink the water. And I was talking with friends yesterday morning, and they're just amazed at how fast I have come back to the water skiing, because they've been doing it since the beginning of May. And I've just come back, and I did 4 passes in the course yesterday. I'm making almost all 6 balls, and they're just like amazed that I'm not, in agony. And when I started off, like I said, 15 years ago, I came back to water skiing. This has been it's been much easier coming back this time. I'm 48 years old. It should be harder, but it's not. And we were having a conversation prior to this. I grew up in a home, my father smoked, and I was always that sickly child. So when I started back water skiing with Nikken 15 years ago, I had, just a year or so of getting better. Now I've been 15 years of getting better. And I think all the toxins that we talked about, the body burden that Randy had talked about, that body burden has been so much lessened in my body for the 15 years that I've been drinking the water, taking the supplements, sleeping on the sleep system, and breathing the air wellness air in my home. I'm healthier today than I was 15 years ago. And I am able to do the one thing that I'm most passionate about, outside of my family, is water skiing. And I'm doing it at a level that I never thought I would be able to do. And it's amazing. And my kids from birth have been using these products, even before birth, and I see in them compared to their peers. We lived in the UK, we lived in California, and we lived in Connecticut. And regardless of which peer set that I compare them to, my kids are healthier, they're developing better, their teeth aren't falling out too soon, and they drink the water, they sleep on the sleep system, they have the air system in their room, they wear the power band neck around them, and it does make a huge difference. So if you're looking at this for the first time, I strongly encourage you, whether you're an athlete, whether you're just, or whatever it is, these products are for everybody. And I've helped my mother, I've helped my father. They had joint issues and all kinds of things, and the quality, it's all about quality of life. And then, then there's the business aspect of this. It's everything. It gives you everything. Healthy mind, body, family, society, and finances. Those are our 5 pillars of health that Mr. Masuda gave us. And Nikken allows you to do that, and I know we're running out of time, but I just think that, give this a good look if you're looking at this for the first time, because we have all benefited from this. And when you feel better as a human individual person, that ripples out to the people around you, and you just, keep that ripple going. And, if everybody felt better, I think things would be a lot better on this earth. So that's all I have to share.
Yes, thank you, Carolyn. That's wonderful. I love your stories. I love your enthusiasm for Nikken, and I know Randy and I are both on that. I know all the people on the call are on that. One of the things I wanted to mention real quickly before we get on the call is you mentioned something which I thought was an interesting story real quick about the Super Mini with a friend of yours that had a problem.
Oh, yes.
I wanted to.
Yes, my friend, yeah. Yep, my dear friend Karen. It's actually her boat that we ski on. She's let's see, I think she's 10 years older than me, so she's like 58, and she's been having issues with her neck. So when she pulls through the wake, she gets this little spot in her neck. It's just like she gets a zap, like someone's like stabbing her in the neck. And on Tuesday morning, I put a Power Mini on the back of her neck, where she told me where she gets that little zing, and she got off the back of the boat, and she we were pulling her through the course, and when she was done, she got back in the boat, and she's like, oh my God, she goes, I didn't get that thing in the back of my neck. I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah. And then I said, well, you just keep it on, you can keep it on for a couple of days. And yesterday morning, she went through the course, and then she free skied for quite a while. When she got back in the boat, she was like, oh my God, I still cannot believe this. I went through the course. I didn't get the zing, and look how far I free skied. And I'm like, and she said, it's not bothering me. So that gave me such joy in my heart, because she's a dear friend that I'm giving her this benefit, and she's doing something she loves, but she's not hurting while she's doing it. And it's, you just see that brightening in somebody's eyes, and their shoulders go up and back. It's like, oh, I don't hurt. Wow, this is great. That's the most rewarding thing to me, to be able to give that to somebody.
And what I love about that story is it's just one little Superman. What that one
Yep.
little that can do for someone.
That little power mini, the size of the finger of your pinky's fingertip.
Yeah, I love that. Great. Thank you, Carolyn. Great.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, great to have you.
Well, thank you. I think we need to end our call. We try to keep it to 30 minutes, but thank you so much, Carolyn and Karen Rose. And it's extraordinary how even just a little disc can make a difference, because that area gets relaxed. It just doesn't reach that point of saying ouch. So it's powerful. So if you need to start, just start with a chip or the insoles or the water bottle and build your wellness home as fast as you can. You will be amazed at the effects it will have on your life. So let me just share a couple of closing slides here. Ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. It's about those daily choices. Maybe a few good choices today will make a difference in a long term, longevity, quality of life, as Carolyn said so well. And it's very easy to get involved. Think about your 5 pillars of health, and Nikken has it all. It's truly an amazing company. So discover it, help yourself and your family to discover it and start living it. And if you choose to share it, it's an amazing financial opportunity as well. But just become a customer, get with the person who sent you to this program, and they can enroll you as a customer. It's free. It's just like signing up on Amazon or any other shopping cart, but there's so much information, and the founder chose direct sales so that we could educate people, because people don't know that this opportunity exists for self-care. And as you've heard from the people who've shared today, it's extraordinary to even kind of stop the clock on aging, and to be able to continue to do the things, the very strenuous athletic things, or just even clarity of the mind. And if you decide to share Nikken, there's a part-time entrepreneur opportunity, and even a full-time home career, which I love because it gives parents the freedom to really be there for their children. So thank you very much for joining us, and do get started with Nikken. Thank you all for sharing. And thanks for listening, and please pass on the great word about Nikken. I'm going to stop the recording now.